start the gaze. So last
I
time on
mean, you
Dragging
got
These
a house
Balls.
key, didn't you?
Yeah, but I don't have it. I didn't. It's not the same. It's it's not
Okay.
the same.
Alright.
Last time on Dragging These Metaphorical Nuts, Akaru said something that meant progress and then immediately retraced her steps, I think.
No, it's the fact that she disappeared for 2 weeks.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's what happened now. Let's see. Wait, okay, what did we...
That
Yeah,
was...
that's what it is. She figured out that she was, in fact, the gay, and then left her on read for 2 months, weeks. And from there, we go. Sinking into a folding chair in the break room, Shino and I heaved matching sighs which echoed round the almost empty room. If Ren were here, she'd complain about how our matching sighs must have meant that we were, in fact, lovers.
Yeah, we clearly don't have enough staff.
It doesn't end in check-in with these people. Someone definitely made a mistake in the roster.
And we still have to change the sheets every day even when they're staying multiple nights.
That doesn't seem right. That seems wasteful. It wasn't just me. Shino seemed run down too. Despite being in the off-season, just before summer vacation, the hotel was fully booked. And thanks to all the staff who were taking their summer break early, those of us left were rushed off our feet. There is no, off-season, on-season anymore, honestly. It's just everything's fucking busy all the goddamn time now, and I hate it. This is why we need to just execute people at random, so that the rest of us have more minor conveniences, honestly. Your silence is saying that you agree 100%, so I'll just put you down as my co-partner on legal, on running for politics.
Good luck with that.
This is why I hate humanity and conferences. Due to its prestige, the Imperial Asso Hotel was often used by governmental organizations and various other businesses for their conferences and training courses. As well as using the halls as the venue, they would often put their people in our rooms, which meant that those of us in customer service were kept busy too.
I think it's some kind of National Dance Committee conference.
More like National Dunce Committee. Anyway, that makes sense. The entry was full of men and ladies in fancy kimono, or as they say in Nippon, kimono. They were a real handful. There were a lot of hard-to-please customers in this demanding industry, which made it more of a mentally than physically draining job. Oh, but I saw this guy wearing a mustard-colored kimono that would look amazing on Kohei-kun, so that cheered me up.
That's totally his color.
Right? Oh, I want to see Kohei-kun wearing it. If I saw that, I'd finally be happy. I opened up the Kensho app to try and distract myself from my fatigue. Kohei-kun smiled out from the screen with an appreciative, "Keep it up, my dear." Oh, I feel better already.
Alright. I haven't asked about stuff with Ren recently. So, how did things go down?
Well, they didn't. We have not gone down on each other yet.
It's been 2 weeks since then. She just now asked. I mean, I think I deserve to know, don't I? I held off on asking for 2 weeks now.
Her gaze felt almost painful as she leered at me. The busyness of work had distracted me from thinking about it, but I couldn't avoid Shino.
Oh my gosh. Did he really just diss? Tom just totally dissed Weiss and Ruby. In gaming. Useless
Wait.
lesbians.
Is Weiss the useless lesbian of that show? Is that a spoiler? Or is that just me forgetting that that's her character?
It's I mean,
they're all useless. Like, I know that like all the fandoms are like gay memes and stuff, but
it's more like like
we don't have to
she,
get into it.
yeah, it's fine. She's just not as strong as she used to be, and it's disappointing to people.
Whatever was the last season is like finished, right? Like the most recent season that was aired and stuff.
Season 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
think when I think of Useless Weiss, I go back all the way to like season 5, I guess, when she like totally barely did anything, and then she got stabbed, and then that was when Jean unlocked his aura, like.
Was season 8 the last one, or are they doing another one still?
Oh, they're definitely doing more. The cliffhanger for Volume 8 was not something that they just would have left on.
Okay. I still have to watch. I think I watched 7, right? I think I watched 7. I need to do 8 at some point. I guess I just finished B99. Maybe I should bite the bullet and do season 8 of Ruby. David, did I watch season 7? Tell me if I watched season 7. I feel like I did.
What, it taking place in Argos?
I don't remember, Diva.
In the snow? Was there a lot of snow?
Yeah, there was.
Was there a time skip?
I think so.
I remember you complaining about it,
yeah, that sounds like me. And I think that was when they did the redesigns, right? And like Weiss's hair was terrible or something. Did I finish watching that season, or did I just... fuck. Was that when Crow had a gay and then he died?
Yes.
Okay.
The barrier gaze immediately.
Yeah. I think I finished that one. I should watch 8.
And I appreciate that you actually got that. that you actually saw it, because if I have to see another straight person say like, I just didn't see the connect, like, come on, people.
What with him and Crow? Whoever he was. I don't even remember his name.
Clover.
Right, yeah.
Like, they didn't, like, shove it in their faces or anything, granted.
it was probably ambiguous, in a sense, maybe, but, like, I'm sure
But Crow straight up went on a murder spree when he died, and, like, and also, he was the good luck to his bad luck.
Oh, right, yeah. Okay. God, dude, remember when, like, I was so fucking hyped for season 4 when they did like the animation change? Like, it was fucking... Remember when the world was okay? Like, it was never good, but it wasn't this bad. And now it's like this, and... Yeah, I should watch season 8 at some time.
I remember telling you that it wasn't like... And I kind of stand by the... Yeah, I stand by the fact that, like, you know, there was some development on all sides, and it was interesting progression for the most part. But I really just don't... It's one of those things where, like, okay, you set up a lot of cool things here. I can't wait to be disappointed again.
Yeah, they really do be that trope of, like, AI-generated scripts where they're constantly introducing new plot threads without necessarily giving resolutions, or at least satisfying resolutions to what the show originally started with. Was there more Neo in this season?
Yes.
Okay, I'll watch it for Neo. I still like her.
Yeah, she gets... I would say Cinder got some character progression too, so...
Is Cinder still alive?
Yeah, that was not ambiguous.
No, I couldn't remember. I know that, like, the last thing I remember was Cinder was her falling off of, like, a ledge or something after fighting Raven. And, like, we all knew she wasn't dead. I just didn't remember anything that happened after that. Oh, did season 7... why are we talking? God damn it. This is why we never finish games, Diva. Fucking Tom. This is all his fault. Screw that guy and his dumb meme that caused this, but... Did Ruby's silver eyes thing that finally came up and she froze somebody, was that at the end of season 7, or did it just not ever really be addressed in season 7?
No, I'd say it's addressed in.
Was it? I just don't remember. I remember finally getting like, it's like it happened where she froze a big thing or something. Like not just.
She did. You're right.
Yeah,
she
like
she
season
froze
3,
the big Godzilla-looking thing.
Yeah. And then whatever happened with it after that in season 7? Because that was like season 6? Yeah, season 6 finale. Ruby.
There was a big old training arc. I can't say that there was for sure, like... No. There was a thing, I think, that she, like, used it on Cinder, and it affected her arm, and then yes, I think. Well, now I'm getting confused on whether or not that was, if I'm confusing the seasons, volume 7 or 8. So I'm just gonna.
No, I think I do remember this thing with her arm, because like Cinder really. I mean, I don't. Maybe she didn't like change, but like her whole thing was becoming obsessed with Ruby, because she got her hurt or something. I do remember that, yeah. But again, I just don't... There was a training montage with Ruby's eyes and stuff?
Yep. There was a training montage for all of them.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, that was leading into them... Like, because it was showing how long they stayed in Atlas. And
that
like...
was with the time skip, I guess.
Training with the Aesops.
I wonder if Rachel ever
Which
watched
I will stand by the fact that the Aesops, that was a really cool... name for the group. I hate that they have all these cool things and then very rarely do they pay off.
Literally, like, yeah, it's just they have such a good fucking concept and like pretty good production to like really good production sometimes, and it's just like so much of it just doesn't hold up though. Right, as usual, it's that fucking thing of like they're doing everything, a lot of stuff right except for like the story. That's always the thing that people like overlook and stuff. It's like, hey, if we could make it look pretty and get big names, it's fine. That's all we need. And then it's like, why doesn't it work? Why doesn't... Anyway. Fucking Tom. God damn it. Anyway. That's fine. I just... Remind me to watch season 8 again. Maybe I'll start doing that this week because... no B99. And
Tom again. That's great.
That's very good. She doesn't look like that anymore, though, Tom. Unless she does look like it again. But this was when she wasn't used. Okay, no. Stop it, Tom. Diva, read the line.
What? She hasn't next to you once? She's always on her phone and watching Ruby.
I know, that useless lesbian. Her shocked cry rang through the break room, causing the hall managers to glance our way from where they'd been chatting at a nearby table. Shino, keep it down.
Right, sorry. I see.
Shino apologized and lowered her voice, then fixed me with a searching stare.
I was sure you'd confess to her or something.
Well, I couldn't exactly say I hadn't, but I couldn't exactly say I had. I'd intended to convey my feelings to her in my own way, but that was not a good way to do it. Perhaps Ren just taken it as me trying to repair the friendship? Maybe I should not be so awkward and tiptoeing around these things and just admit how I really feel instead of saying, I think I know how I feel, but I just can't put it into words.
I'm watching Sasuke and Miyano, the good slow burn BL I was telling you about.
Yeah,
and
I'm gonna wait until it has a few more episodes and then binge a chunk of it, especially since Demon Slayer ends this next week.
Yeah, but that is to say, not to derail the conversation again. Of course, I'm just pointing out that I just watched the new episode today, and I literally thought about this game, and I was like, I wish it's slow burn, but this is another level of slow burn. like I just don't know how I feel. Like there are like moments like that in this, but like there's like, actual progression.
How old are those characters though?
Oh, they're one's a second year and the other one's a third year.
High school or college?
In high school.
Okay.
High school.
I mean, it's still dumb, but it's like, I guess a little more excusable when it's like, this emotion called love, I just don't know what it is. It's like, fuck off. You're like the horniest time of your life. Like, you're not, no one fucking talks like that. But it's like, whatever, they're kids. Sometimes it happens or whatever. Like, when you're fucking 30 years old, you fucking know how the world works and what you're feeling. You're 30 years old. Stop with this shit.
I would argue it works even better in Sasuke and Miyano because remember, the plot is that it's about a Fudanshi who doesn't realize that he's in a BL, like he is in a BL.
What's a Fudanshi?
A male Fujoshi.
Wait. So he should fucking know then.
Exactly. Like but he's really insecure about like, like, okay, just because I like reading the gay content doesn't mean that I myself am gay.
Sure. Yeah,
and he's also the story definitely goes into detail about him being really insecure about his more feminine features. Like he literally got crushed by a girl he liked who was constantly like, oh, but he looks so good, like he's such a girl, like his face is so feminine, like looks better like a girl than most girls here, and like he just
Urushabari stuff, Urushabara, however, I miss Luca.
Yeah. So the show definitely like focuses on like the insecurities and growing up and just needing to go around with it, and it works because the other half of the ship is like totally down bad. Like he doesn't have to he doesn't know if he's like gay or anything, but he knows that he's totally got the hots for him. So, but it's good. It's cute.
Okay.
But it's probably for the best, right? The fan meeting's over, and there won't be any more events. You'll need her luck for a while.
Gino, I don't know if you realize this, but you just went into a weird Fujo rant for like 10 minutes there. But, yeah, I guess you're probably right.
I mean, it's what I do for a living. Or one of the things I do to make money. Or was there another reason you wanted to keep her around?
My heart thudded loudly at her words. I shook my head vehemently to deny it. No, you're right. Now I can return to my fulfilling otaku life with my husbandos. I definitely didn't have a revelation. Thinking about it, I hadn't been myself lately. With Ren gone, I could stay up as late as I wanted watching anime to my heart's content. That's what I want. To go back to my normal life. Yeah. I can continue lying to myself. Clutching my phone tightly in my hand, I closed my eyes. I had a stack of work waiting for me back at the front desk, and I was sure the rest of the day would fly by in a blur of busyness. So sleepy. While the city center tended to stay bustling late into the night, the crowds thinned out closer I got to my apartment. I held back yawns as I walked. I'd wasted a bunch of time rushing around the anime shops just before they'd closed, and the clock on my phone was already showing tomorrow's date. So I'd dropped by the stores without any particular goal in mind. I hadn't bought much, which in turn had left me feeling a little dissatisfied. Not wanting to dwell on it, I pulled out my phone. I listened to a Kensho drama CD on my way. I dug my headphones out of my bag and opened up my music app. As the background music started to play, I started to feel a little less gloomy.
What is this oily hell? My hand is so slippery I can't possibly grasp my sword.
Kohei-kun's voice is so nice and dignified. It's like music to the ears. Beneath the sweet voice had the steely strength of a master swordsman. I unlocked the door to my apartment block. Back to work tomorrow. I know, Wakaru, it's the worst. Getting into the elevator, I sighed as I punched in my floor number like clockwork. When I arrived at my front door, I unlocked it and turned on the light in the pitch-dark entryway. Tadaima, as they say in Nippon. I announced my arrival to the empty room as I closed and locked the door behind me with a resounding click. As I headed into the dining room, the voice swelled in my ears.
Yeah.
What's that? Master Illusionist Phoenix Wright character, whose name I can't remember. Fabulistic
Oh.
Maximilian Galactica.
Yeah.
His opponent fell to his sword. Kohei-kun sheathed his.
Alas, the tragic fate of a swordsman.
Kohei-kun left the scene after delivering his catchphrase, and I pulled out my earbuds. Oh no. I'm alone with my thoughts again. Silence descended heavily around me. The only sound was the gentle snoring of the refrigerator coming from the kitchen. Man, remember when that beautiful girl was here too?
I was gonna say, like, if this is just a whole thing of nothing happening, just showing how lonely she is without Ren, I'm calling it here. But, welcome home, Akaru.
I'm home. I whispered to no one, my point face, quickly fading into the darkness. My place always this quiet. I'd just gone back to how things were before she arrived. This is what I wanted. This is what happiness looks like. I tried to tell myself that. My chest ached somewhere deep inside. And I want you here. As I slumped down on the floor, I caught sight of her nail polishes lined up in front of the TV. I noticed that none of the ones I'd given her were to be found among the colorful bottles. She's not one to let something like that go. My eyes prickled hotly, and I pressed my palms to them. Staring into the pink and white polishes, I wondered what Ren was thinking about right at that moment. I miss her. Sitting around on the floor wasn't going to help anything. I got to my feet and turned on the light, and I started to search the room, looking for clues to Ren's whereabouts. She said she was living alone, so it's a bit early to go hunting down her family. But she left this gun behind, so I just didn't know that much about gun usage, or her. Her favorite colors and songs, and the way she's liked to do her hair. No, that's enough. I know plenty. Wondering to myself, I cast my eyes over the personal belongings she left behind. She left a pearly pink makeup pouch in the bathroom. Feeling a little guilty, I picked it up, and I sniffed it.
Sorry, Red.
I feel dirty. I'm just so confused. In the pouch, I found the eyeshadow palette and the eyebrow pencil she always used. They were probably backups. Rummaging past them, I came upon a piece of paper. A receipt? Unfolding the piece of paper, I read the name of a well-known convenience store on a list of snacks. The branch name was familiar. Higashi Oshima. Pretty sure that's only a few stops away. Come to think of it, while I listened to her chatter about her friends and classes, I never actually asked which college she attended.
Oh, she's a college student.
Very good. So a college student that's somehow half her age?
Mm-hmm.
Typical women nonsense. Am I right, boys?
It seemed to have been closer than I knew. If I go to this area, I may see her. Wait, that sounds stalkery. But she did leave your makeup pouch, so I should return it. And I mean, she started living with me after I met her for like the first time, almost immediately, and we were talking about marriage. We have a fucked up relationship. This shouldn't matter. Still making excuses to myself, I gripped the receipt tightly in my fist. To me, this tiny scrap of paper felt like a message she left behind for me. It's like that scene in Fleabag. What's-his-face left that dinosaur, so he was gonna come back. Remember, it was like, I think his name was Danny, like the first love interest. She always fought with him and like pushed him away. But if he left, like that dinosaur was like an excuse to come back, so she knew that things were like fine. And then like one day he didn't leave it, so she was like, oh no, I'm actually gonna die alone. And then the show was just sad all the time.
Yes, now I recall.
Morning. Hey. Oh, I thought maybe. In a residential area short of the foreshore arc in the station, I spotted a group of girls in pink skirts and colorful sweaters and hoodies. I searched the group for a familiar figure. Ren's not here. I don't see anyone with her 3 sizes. I watched them intently from the shadow of a lamppost, but I couldn't see anyone who looked like Ren. No one's pretty enough. I figured I'd be more likely to meet her in the morning rather than the evening, when people headed home at different times. So on a day where I had a late shift, I'd come over before work. I seemed like a creeper.
May I help you?
Oh no. A woman looked professory, was guarding me suspiciously. Beneath her accusatory stare, I put on my best customer service-y smile to my face. No, I was just... Seeing the girls really took me back to my own school days. You know, I'm old. Sorry for loitering. I tilted my head innocently. This is intense. I mean, but it is true I'm feeling nostalgic, so it's not like I'm lying. I don't need real deception.
Oh, I see. My apologies for doubting you.
Oh, not at all. You're just doing your job.
Oh, not at all. Well, see you later.
Almost. Am I right? Okay, bye. Looking down on the ground, the woman walked briskly away. I got the feeling she was used to being teased by her students, so my comment was probably fine. For the time being, I left out a breath of fresh air. Yeah, I handled that well. Since I'm here, I might as well ask someone who looks like they might be friends with Ren. Time to address all Gyarus and stereotype. I looked at the group walking past me. 3 girls with their black hair and slick ponytails who looked like they were in the athletics club. No. A plain girl in a long skirt. No. Yep. It didn't seem like she'd be friends with anyone, but her besties would probably be that really obnoxious looking girl who wants to be the center of attention is acting like she's not aware that everyone's eyes on her. Aha! Gyaru! A girl with a perfectly curled, dyed brown hair that fluttered in the wind. Her spidery, suit black eyelashes weren't going to be beaten by the day's humidity anytime soon. Artificial bitch. She was with another girl wearing black rimmed glasses and a neon hoodie over an oversized shirt. The style reminded me of Ren's. Try hard much? I bet these 2 know her. This is who I thought they were talking about earlier. It's like giving me life. I need the Xperity's summer collection too. Those colors are lit. Yeah, but I'm broke as fuck, bruh. So I need a job if I'm going to survive the summer. And these nails don't do labor. This isn't worth it. I was about to call out to them, but I stopped when I heard how fast they were talking. Let me try that again. It's like giving me life, but I need the Xperi summer collection with the colors lit. Yeah, but I'm broke as fuck. I need a job as far as summer. What? You're that Brooks Tony? I thought you worked at that bar. I quit that shit for 2 days. I'm not even like made to work. Told you. I know high school girls, Diva. I remember the trauma.
They're college girls.
I know college. I didn't talk to girls in college, and this is why. That's how I'll spin it to stay sad.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, what are they talking about? I could barely follow their conversation with my ears, so I followed them on my feet. Screwing up my courage, I stepped out in front of them. Sup, bitches? Sup, bitch? Who are you? Oh my god, new prof? Morning! So here's the deal. You give me A's, I give you whatever you want. The 2 girls regarded me with open curiosity and a growing amount of suspicion. Oh, this was a bad idea. They think I'm a creeper and they think I'm a professor, and they wanted me to do things for them. At this point, there was nothing to do but fully commit. I plunged on with my questioning before they had time to start making a fuss. You guys definitely know Ren Furutachi? Abs? Oh, wait. She's like our queen? Queen? I mean, about Ren. Has she been coming to class lately? I wasn't sure, but I assumed Ren was popular at school. I mean, she was pretty, and that's all it takes. I felt the other girl's haze. Garden. What's your deal with her? Are you like, you know? Oh no, it's not the lip wrist again. My wrists are fine. The girl narrowed her eyes and folded her arms, assuming a threatening stance. Although maybe it was weird to feel threatened by someone so much younger. So, like, your sisters? I'm not convinced. If she has a sister at her parents' place, that's a good thing, right? It looked like I'd now been assigned the role of a sister rather than a girlfriend. The girl called Satone's eyes softened slightly behind her glasses. Wait, her parents' place? Hang on. Or chotomate as they say in Nippon. I thought she lived alone. No way! She was like couch surfing, you know how college girls are. She was staying at my place till recently. Something clicked in my brain. I almost forgot I had one. What? Nothing about the way she said it seemed like the girl wasn't telling the truth. But if that was the case, that bitch lied to me.
I already live on my own anyway.
Huh?
I feel a lot safer with someone competent like you around.
Renan definitely told me she lived alone. I do remember commenting, like, I wonder if that's going to be a thing. And I was like, nah, probably won't be. Well, look at us now. Was that a deception? Putting my hand over my mouth, my brain whirled for a few seconds. Ren had a place to live, and she'd been couch surfing at her friends' places. Why? I racked my brain, unable to understand the reason, but no matter how I thought, I was unlikely to arrive at a clear answer. I looked up, ready to thank Ren's friends for their help and leave. That was when I noticed a figure out of the corner of my eye. My gaze darted toward it. Hey, Ren! I caught sight of her. Thought! I pointed, several meters back ahead as she ran off. Before I could get a word out, my feet were already carrying me forward. Ren, wait! Bystanders, stop that lesbian! Catching up to her, I reached out to grab her wrist, but she slapped it away. Ita! My exclamation caused her to look back at me for a moment. I grimaced at the pain in my hand. Oh no, she gave me a limp wrist! Ren frowned, her mouth a tight line. Indecision swam in her eyes. Ren, if I curl down on the floor and act like I'm in pain, will you come back like a good puppy? I stood frozen in place, watching her receding back. I brushed my disheveled hair back over my ears, my wrist still limp. Ruri-chan sensei, over here! Help, she's harassing Ren!
It's you from before I trusted you.
Yabai.
So you were up to no good. You really had me fooled with that pretty face of yours.
No, I didn't roll deception. Or charisma charm. Before I could protest, she was already had my arm in a firm grip. When I looked up, I saw Ren was watching us from a distance, her hands clasped together apologetically.
Gomenasai.
Her lips moved, forming the word silently. I yelled back. No, you're not. Help me. Tell her. Explain to her, please.
I think you're the one who has some explaining to do.
This is my daughter. The woman was glaring at me, sending Ren a resentful glance. I mentally prepared myself for a dressing down from both this professor and my superior at work later on. After that, I was first lectured on not acting like a creep around students even if you know them, and was subsequently late for work and scolded by my manager. Why did I do this to myself? After all that, I still don't know what's going on with Ren. As far as I could tell, she didn't seem to dislike me. Perhaps she was conflicted too. But just what was I supposed to do? Thanks for choosing to stay with us. If you could please fill in your name. I handed the kimono-clad woman the form as I gave her our standard spiel. As I watched her filling it in, something caught my eye. Kaori? Furutachi? That sounds familiar. Must just be a common name.
I don't know what voice to give her.
Gyaru's mom's voice.
Well, but she seems a lot more dignified. So
Exactly. Who gives birth to Gyarus? The non-Gyarus. Their oppression forces out the Gyaru. Right? You know what I'm saying.
is something wrong?
No. My apologies. Thank you very much. The woman, Mrs. Coyote Furutachi, narrowed her eyes at me in a severe expression at odds with her round face. I got a sense of class from her and the elegance of her movements. Oh, now I remember. When Ren's tutor called me, I'm sure she asked if I was Coyote Furutachi. I mentally compared Ren to this woman before me. They should be complete opposites, yet there was something similar there. Furutachi's actually not a common surname. Would you happen to be... I cut myself off. Asking personal questions was frowned upon in my line of work. They would never let that happen in Nippon. It's forbidden, like our love. But if I could at least secure just a little more information... My gaze fell on the guest form, where I saw the name of a familiar station along with a more detailed address. Oh, I do have information. Mrs. Furutachi was probably here for the dance conference. If she was someone well known, I could look her up and maybe find something out. My colleague here will show you to your room while I do a Google search on you. Feeling guilty, I forced my lips to remain frozen in a smile and didn't say that last part. I've been in this line of work for a long time. It was a while since my cheeks had acted like this. I never smile.
Please don't bother. I can handle my luggage on my own.
Oh, look at that. We have a girl boss. Before the bellboy could introduce himself, she picked up her small case. From her resolute demeanor, I felt like she'd just seen right through my intentions, and I gulped. Of course. Then please allow us to direct you to your room. The bellboy understood my glance and showed Mrs. Furutachi to the elevators in the back. As I watched her go, I let out the breath I'd been holding. She seems formidable. Pooch! What is it? Is there a demon?
Hush. So what brought on this change of heart?
Pooch, like, when did I kiss? I just want that kiss, Steva! I
don't know, dog.
Shino grinned at me as we crossed the plaza in front of the last subway station on the line. I'd never been there before. I could tell from her expression that she was teasing me. Don't be mean. You're the only person I could think of who'd come with me besides the dog.
Well, I'm glad you think of me as such a good friend compared to a dog. Plus, I'm concerned about Ren, too.
Shino. She wasn't one for displays of affection, and I found myself quite moved by her uncharacteristic expression of emotion. Shino was such a good person. She had such big boobs.
Also, that mysterious beauty in the kimono is an instructor in traditional Japanese dance, right? Seems like great material for a dojin.
Boobs. I took it all back. She was boobs. Well, anyway, today we're two regular people who have come to observe dance lessons. I'm only here because you invited me. If Mrs. Furutachi recognizes me, we play it off as a coincidence.
Roger that.
With a salute, Shino held up her smartphone. The map showed that we'd arrived at our destination. Through the Japanese-style gate was a green garden of pine trees. The sign by the entrance read, Furutachi Academy of Traditional Japanese Dance. Oh, I can't wait to make Ren dance for me. That whore.
Whoa.
Let's go. Vamonos, as they say in Nippon.
We can't see much from here.
Are there any students here yet? According to the attendee list for the National Japanese Dance Association Conference, or the Nijidak, Coyote Furutachi ran a dance school out of her house. There were supposedly lessons being held today, but the website hadn't specified what time. We peered in through the gate and saw an open Japanese-style room across the garden. After watching from our vantage point for a while, I spotted Coyote-san tidying a few things in the shadows of the room. Oh, those dead fish eyes. They were doing something to me. Over there.
Is that her? She looks half dead.
I just nodded. A kimono-clad woman in her 70s appeared from the back of the room, walking toward Coyote-san. Seems like a serious conversation.
Wanna eavesdrop?
Yes. Stooping over to stay hidden, we rolled stealth. We managed to squeeze ourselves behind some plants close enough to be able to hear their voices.
She asked you that? Why would you want to talk to him all of a sudden?
Oh, wait. Who was... Oh, okay. So they're both her.
Well, he is her father.
A male? In my Yuri VN? I think not. Ren. My ears perked up at the name. My theory had been correct. This woman was Ren's mother, or Okasan, as they say in Nippon.
We do have some leads, but I thought it best to get your blessing first.
It does seem like... Okay, let's see. Kaori-san's side. It sounded like Ren's father, Kaori's husband, didn't live with them. Not only that, they didn't know how to contact him. Typical male.
I think Ren's struggling too.
Oh, I wonder if it's grandmother or something.
Yeah.
And that's why she's asking for her blessings.
Could you stop calling her that? You know her real name is Love.
Whoop. Sorry.
If it hurts to be reminded of your son, you can let go of that name yourself. That's not...
Yeah, so it's definitely two different people. They just both seem to be named Kaori. Kaori-san raised her voice before quickly cutting herself off. Ai? Rabu? Daisuke? Aishiteru? I never heard the unusual name before, but it seemed like a girl they were talking about was one and the same. She's talking about Ren? I whispered to myself, and besides, Shino gave me a wry smile.
The character it's written with is the same. Both names mean the same thing.
You knew?
I saw it doodled on some of her notes.
After her blunt confession, Shino's eyes softened behind her glasses. She probably didn't know the reason behind why Ren would change her name either. Ren is... Hearing approaching voices, I stopped talking. Looking toward the front gate, I saw a group of girls getting out of a taxi. Shit. I grabbed of Shino's shirt, dragging her away with me. Filled with unease, we made our way back outside the front gate.
You're slipping.
Right.
Give me 1 second.
Poocher's like, I've never seen such much dancing in my whole life. These lesbians aren't gonna kiss, they can at least dance better. I'm sorry. Kaori-san's voice reverberated through the training hall. In a corner of the room, away from the other students, Kaori-san was giving me one-on-one instruction.
Akira-san, you're trying to move using only your muscles. Let's try to be more natural. Use your whole body.
She circled behind me and lightly touched my shoulder and back to adjust my posture as she continued.
When I spotted you out front, I thought you carried yourself beautifully. Your body is made to dance.
Ariga, thanks.
I want to be praised too.
Shino was sitting on the floor just like me. I felt her gaze on me like a knife. It was just so embarrassing. She was definitely laughing at me.
Get to your feet.
Ow. Yes, ma'am. Kaori-san's hand brushed against me as I rose from my kneeling position. Following the path of her hand seemed to lend me strength, like she was pulling me up.
Remember how that felt. Now, once more.
Hi! Readjusting my posture, I sat back down and repeated the movement. Kaori-san continued instructing the rest of the class for a while longer, until...
Let's leave it at that for today.
At her cue, students gathered around her. Although she retained her stern expression, there was a gentleness in her eyes as she regarded them.
We'll finish here for you too, Hakuto-san, Shino-san.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Just as I put my hands to the floor to push myself up, her sharp voice stopped me.
Hakuto-san, did you forget what I just taught you? You should always be aware of your posture, even outside of your training. Understand?
She frowned at me, but before I could respond, the older woman came out from back of the room and walked over to us.
Okay, yeah, they're just both.
Very helpful.
Mm-hmm. Kaori-san.
The woman said Kaori-san's name in a soft voice. Her forest green kimono and black hair streaked with white were striking.
Sensei.
You'll scare the students away if you're always shouting at them.
My apologies.
Okay, so it's Keiko.
What the? That would have been helpful earlier, but yeah, I guess so.
Mm-hmm. You always go hardest on the most promising ones. I'm sorry.
The woman turned to me with a gentle smile. Her clean movements and upright posture resembled Kaori-san's. It's the woman she was talking to earlier, but she called her sensei?
Yes, I'm sorry. This is the head of the Furutachi Dance Academy, Instructor Keiko.
Curiosity must have been written on my face as she politely introduced the woman to me, who smiled in return.
Are you mother and daughter? In a sense. That's not an answer. Kaori-san is my daughter-in-law and a former student.
Which made this woman Ren's grandmother. Having said that, they didn't look much alike. Ren does take after Kaori-san, though. While the demeanors were complete opposites, they shared the same eye color, and something about their skin. I want to live in it. Not in a weird way. My cheeks burned red as my Ren with K. My mind dug up images of Ren in some unladylike positions. But I didn't mean it in a creepy way. It was just, boobs. Just ran it off on me. I caught the gay.
Gosh.
I put my hand up on my face to hide my red cheeks. No one seemed to notice, although Keiko-san gave me a curious look.
Take care of your way home, Hakuto-san, Shino-san.
The two of them stepped out through the shoji sliding door, through the corridor. I could hear them talking in whispers, which I strained to hear as I pretended to be busy gathering my things.
Hey, this could be your chance.
Huh?
Remember their conversation earlier? Ren's probably somewhere in the house.
But I can't just... I couldn't sneak around right under Kaori-san's nose. But if I had Shino's help, she could give me advantage. Shino, buy me some time, would you?
Got it.
Talk about your Fujos to a woman with a generation gap. Slapping me lightly on the ass, she flashed a grin.
Afterward, let's plan a new Kensho R18 Dojin together.
Oh, that's why you went for my ass. Shino, you always know just what to say. Feeling like I could cry with gratitude, I headed off to search the house, giving Kaori-san a wide berth. I slid open the paper doors, peering into the rooms along the corridor. Not here, or here. Pushing down the feelings of guilt, I made my way methodically down the corridor. Some of the rooms looked to be for guests, while others were clearly Kaori-san's quarters. When I came upon a room with a Western-style door, decorated with puffy pink stickers. This bitch. Pressing my ear to the door, I heard signs of life from inside. Straightening up, I nodded firmly to myself, and slowly raised my hand. Knock, knock. I knocked lightly and held my breath. There was a loud clatter from within the room, followed by the sound of approaching footsteps, then nails clacking against the wood.
What are you doing here?
Well, you didn't go to an airport, so I had to chase you down here instead. Open up. I put my hand to the door handle. I was worried about being caught by Kaori-san, but more than that, I wanted to marry her daughter.
It won't open.
As I reached out for the door, I heard a click.
It sounds like she's trapped.
Well, if she heard a click, I'm wondering if Ren just now locked it. Okay. Why did you run off like that? Tell me what's going on, Ren. I was finally starting to understand what was going on, and now I don't understand again. I tried the handle, but the door was locked, so Ren's silence was making me impatient, but I pressed on. I can't understand if you don't tell me. I can't understand even if you do tell me sometimes. Is it too with school? Your mom? She'd usually fling the door open and leap into my arms. All I got from her now was a sad voice.
I can't tell you why, but I can't see you anymore.
What is that supposed to mean? It was hard to argue with her decisive tone. So I simply stood there with my hand pressed against the door, staring intently at the wood, but of course I couldn't see to the other side.
Did you meet my mom?
She happened to be staying at our hotel, so I came here pretending to be a student. Ren laughed dryly.
What a coincidence. Guess I really am lucky.
Sometimes luck comes my way too. I whispered, huh, was her only response. Why won't she tell me anything? I wanted to understand her. There was no way I could if she refused to tell me anything. I mean, she told me a lot and I still didn't understand. Frustrated by the single panel of what's separating us, I itched to force it open. But I knew I wasn't strong enough to break down a door with my bare hands. I have a -1 strength.
Hey, Akaru, bend down a bit.
Her tone was soft and calm. I hunched over, following her voice. Right, this was about her height. I held my breath. I pressed myself against the door, not wanting to miss the words that would break the silence.
What do you think you're doing?
Kaori-san! I leaped back from the door. She appeared. Her eyes widened. When she recognized me, she looked between me and the door suspiciously, like she was looking for an explanation. God damn it, Shino. Oh, Shino's behind her. Her hands clasped together apologetically. Guess there was a limit to how much time she could buy. I was looking for the bathroom.
I see. The bathroom is behind the dance hall. I'll show you.
With that, Kaori-san set off ahead of me, showing me the way to the bathroom. I managed to shake off her suspicions, but in the end, I without any pain. In real life, a boy yelled,
Ah!
I feel like we got a lot of CGs. Like,
Mm-mm. At least
Mm.
one. No, two even. The hotel and then that. So at least two.
does it count when they shift, like when they add a thing or take away a thing?
What do you mean? Oh, I
how-
count that as like the same when their heads change and stuff.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's just the same. That's how it's saved in the gallery. The basketball sailed through the hoop and the stadium erupted with cheers. Huh. 20 times I watch it, it never gets old.
Nope. So good.
Basketball anime reference? Diva, you know sports anime and sports. What are
No,
they
I really
referencing?
don't. You are talking to the wrong girl.
But you like the boys in the uniforms, so obviously this means you watch the content with the boys in the uniforms.
No. And different kinds of uniforms.
But
really.
they're generally homoerotic.
I know. it's a love-hate relationship with them.
Beside me on the sofa, Shino muttered into her hand while I covered my face with trying to force all the feels back inside myself. Goddamn, I'm so... The anime, based on a shonen manga, had aired several years ago and blew up in popularity for its realistic depictions of basketball and its appealing characters. It's probably Slam Dunk. Of course, I'd been deep in the fandom back then, too.
It was either Slam Dunk or Kuroko no Basket.
Okay, one more time.
Hold up. It's almost my last train. I've got to get home.
That's quitter talk. Shino stood up as I ejected the disc from the player and put the first one of the series back in. Oh, is it already that late? Glancing up at the clock on the wall, I saw that it was almost midnight. Given the time it would take to walk to the station, Shino would have to get going sooner or risk missing her last train. I thought you had the day off tomorrow.
I do, but...
There was no real reason for it. None at all. Seriously, I'm totally fine being alone, but I didn't want her to go. I floated an idea to Shino as she picked up her bag and made her way toward the front door. Why don't you stay over and talk to me all night until I fall asleep, and then wake up first and keep talking to me then, too?
Ah-chan.
It's not like the silence is getting to me or anything. I just, I looked away awkwardly and tried to smile as normally as possible. But I'm pretty sure I failed my deception check.
I'm not the one you really want here, though, am I? Ren-chan.
I looked at her with tears swimming in my eyes, and the corners of her lips curled upward. Although she hadn't said a word about it when I had invited her over for an anime marathon, or at any point during our day together, she'd seen through me.
Something happened back at the house, didn't it?
It sure didn't. We were I did get to talk to Furuitachi-san. I mean, Ren, but
But?
we were cut off before we got to the good stuff. Why'd she left? Why'd she give a fake name? Why'd she lie about living alone? It's no answers. No answers. I just don't understand.
Sounds like you didn't get the results you hoped for.
It sounds like Diva's getting comfortable. While she kept her tone light, her stare was intense.
No,
But
you can't say that. I'm not using my earphones.
Well, now you sound clearer. But I couldn't get a read on what emotions were in her deep green eyes.
So, Ah-chan, what are you gonna do?
Her question made me catch my breath.
What do you want to do?
Yeah. Okay. Let me do a real quick, what are you thinking, Diva?
I mean, I know that the bad, and, well, it's not necessarily bad, but I want to see Ren is certainly a lot more straightforward than I don't want to hurt her anymore.
Straightforward? I think not.
Gay forward.
If I try getting closer to Ren, maybe she'd just tell me even more lies. The thought scared me. What if... Well, just when I'm starting to understand her, she tells me it was all a lie, and this was just an elaborate TikTok prank. What if I couldn't keep loving her. Wait, I do that?
If you get anywhere involved with her, things might get messy.
Okay. I heard a car drive past the apartment block. Sheena went on slowly like she was teasing me.
In order to keep loving someone, don't you need to be free from them?
Huh? Is that right?
Like, I don't know, isn't it one of those, if you love someone, let them go?
Oh, right, I guess. But Sheena stared quietly for my response. I didn't know if she shared the emotions swirling inside me. But I don't want to come home to this apartment without Ren in it. That's some progress.
Ah, John. It took you this long.
I knew I was being selfish, but no matter how many husbandos I had, I missed Ren. None of them could replace a real 2D girl. I wanted to look into those glittering eyes once again. I mean, I can't go back to how things were before her.
I don't even know which of you is seducing the other.
Huh? Sheena muttered something too quietly for me to hear, then prodded me in the nose with a finger.
Then you should go after her with everything you've got. You're good at pursuing people, right? That's what you do.
I couldn't help but smile at her smug expression. I spent my whole life chasing husbandos. Realizing how funny that sounded, Pooch chuckled to himself and shook his collar.
That's enough.
Coyote-san's
Pooch,
cold,
I'm not letting you out of
sharp
this
voice reverberated around the hall. Her pupil had stopped at the music. She would not let the dog out of the room. After a brief explanation of today's points to work on, Coyote-san dismissed the students. Watching them head out to the changing room, I took the opportunity to address her. Yo, bitch.
Yes? What is it?
Ah, so that is how people refer to each other in the workplace. I knew
No,
it.
but I've been called worse all year.
Without air conditioning, the dance hall retained the summer heat and sweat beaded on her forehead. Why would you be wearing this multi-layer kimono while dancing in the middle of summer? She truly is evil. I have something important to discuss. She-devil. Coyote-san stopped in her tracks.
Is it something we can discuss here?
Her tone softened as she turned to face me properly and waited for my response. No, actually. The moment she heard Ren's name from my lips, her expression changed, becoming grim and a little uneasy.
First, please get changed. I'll get Ren. Well, this is going, well, better than I thought it would.
A flock of birds chirped out in the garden. Coyote-san and I knelt opposite one another on the wooden floor. She was still as a statue. Oh, my legs went to sleep. How does she look so composed? I almost expected her to respond to my inner voice, but she remained silent. Oh, she does resemble Ren somewhat. Ren had once said she was jelly of my high nose because hers was small and round. In the same way, while Coyote-san's expression was dignified, her actual face was young-looking. Just as I was about to start giggling to myself, Coyote-san spoke.
Rabu.
Exactly! Following her gaze, I saw Ren peeking in from the corridor. I hadn't seen her in weeks, but there she was with the same colorful pins in her perfect long silky hair and sparkles in those deep brown eyes that just pull you in and...
Akru!
I readied myself for the impending glomp, but it never came, so neither did I. Instead, a smile bloomed across her face. Ren.
Sit there.
Coyote-san didn't give me any time to enjoy the reunion. Ren moved toward where her mother had indicated. And instead of sitting, she picked up the cushion. Aww. No, Mother, I sit here. I see Pooch won in the end.
Shut up.
Without a word, she placed it next to me and sat. Kaori-san looked shocked for a moment, but then her brows sank into a frown as she looked between us.
You too.
Like this. I showed her my limp wrist.
Got a problem? No. Akure-san, you said you had something important to discuss.
Recovering herself, she turned back to me. There was a slight uncertainty in her eyes. I looked right back at her and straightened my posture. Firstly, I have an apology to make. To your daughter, Ren, Rabu, Kyaru. Lesbian disaster.
I think you mean love. Ren is merely a name she made up. That's not...
I cleared my throat, cutting her off. Seemed her name was a sensitive topic for her. I wanted to ask why, but there were other things I wanted to get out before that. Rabu was with me for a while. I apologize for not seeking your approval first. I thought you were dead. I bowed my head to her and heard Ren gulp beside me. When I slowly raised my head, Kaori-san fixed me with an intense stare.
So you're...
The roommate and mother. I mean,
Never
you're the
mind.
mother, but...
I am also at fault for not being able to bring my wayward daughter home.
She lowered her gaze a bit and bit her lip. Oh God. This whole family. Doing things to me. After a brief pause, I brought up the main topic. Today, I'm here to ask for your approval.
I see.
If love still likes me, then I'd like to keep loving her together. Officially. Roommates. Silence descended between us for a long moment. Your friend doesn't feel the same way, then. In that event, I was prepared to give up and gracefully retreat and never talk to anyone that wasn't a 2D boy again. But probably, hopefully... Please, Ren, I know I've been unbearable, but I can change. As I hoped to myself, a voice broke through the tense mood.
Akru!
Glomp. Something heavy impacted my shoulder, and I almost fell over. The soft arms wrapped around my neck were the same as I remembered, but this strength... God, buddy.
Oh my god. This was all... Oh no.
It was an elaborate TikTok prank, my worst fear.
Mom, this means I win the bet, right?
Still clinging tightly to me, Ren turned her to glare at her mother, a confident grin on her face.
I did promise.
Kaori-san's knives. Guarded. 2. Instinctive straight. Ren sat down. What?
I didn't expect it to be with a woman. Oh my gosh, hashtag relatable. Well, duh, lesbian. I already told you 1,000,000 times.
Yes, but I just thought it was a phase.
Yeah.
It was 1,000,000 times over the course of like 7 years, Mom. Yes, a very long, unfortunate phase.
So you were serious about that. OMG, Obs, is your head filled with rocks or something?
Now she raised her eyebrows. Her posture and gaze never wavered. Hold up a sec. Am I being punked? Choto mate. What are we talking about? What bet? Is this like bet, as in the statement reply?
I'll explain later.
Ren got to her feet before I could protest, took hold of my arm and pulled me up too. I tottered slightly from the momentum, but managed to remain upright.
Since I won, that means I'm free, right?
Ere? You
Do as you please.
Never mind. Kaori-san.
Agura-san, your posture is off.
Go in, Azari! It seemed that Kaori-san was always my instructor mode. Was always in instructor mode, whatever the situation. Not that I knew what the situation was.
Why are you blushing? Oh, Hakaru, don't tell me you put the moves on my mom.
She bit her lip, it's not my fault. The moves she showed me, they're not weak. She'd moved my arms and legs into position when she was teaching me, but before I could explain, Ren's expression changed.
Hakaru, you thought? My mother?
No, the moves, babe. They were weak, and I wanted them to... I attempted to explain, but quickly gave in to Ren and let myself be dragged out of the room into the verdant garden. I still don't get it. My shout echoed through the Furutachi mansion. A few minutes had passed since we barreled out of Ren's house. Ren had been silent the whole time as she walked a few paces ahead of me. Does she not want me to ask? As she walked holding a Boston-filled bag. Yep, Boston-filled bag. I felt a silent pressure emanating from her back. Ren. When I called her name, she finally turned to face me, as though she made up her mind. Her mouth was set in a slightly uncertain frown, but she spoke quickly.
Hakaru, I want to go to Skyview Tower.
Skyview Tower? It was the name of a radio tower constructed just a few years back in Japan's tallest building. Of course, what?
I guess it's different from Sky Tree, but there's a Sky Tree Tower in Japan that's like known as like the love romantic spot where like you go to confess your love, and if you do it there, then you'll stay together for whatever, forever.
So you're calling Ren a basic bitch?
I mean, just more like she was like, of course she would want to be like, okay, no, we have to set this thing in stone. Like, we have to, like I am not messing around. But I don't know what Skyview Tower is.
Probably like the safe for legal reasons version or something.
Yeah.
You could get there directly from the station next to Kinchicho, but I've never been before.
You don't wanna?
I mean, are you gonna push me off? Her silence spoke volumes, so I just nodded, wondering why she wanted to go there. Probably to push me off.
Yay! I've always wanted to go. Probably not your kind of place, though.
I like to remain on the ground. I mean, it's all couples there, but if it came up in an anime, I'd be tempted to go. As I said it, a word occurred to me. It was one I used often, but now it ballooned strangely in my mind. Right. Deto. The sky, scarlet. Because of the lack of other tall buildings, the sky seemed even more expansive than usual. We came up from the subway and crossed the bridge over the small stream that trickled along beside the shopping area beneath the Skyview Tower.
Oh, Hakaru, look! Baby penguins!
Ren squealed as soon as we entered the main hall. Oh yeah. Kawaii, as I say in Nippon. A huge poster of an adorable baby pengu advertised the aquarium located within the mall. They really were kawaii.
I'm so hyped. Come on, let's go to the aquarium.
Yeah, pengu kawaii. Mucho kawaii. But there was something else of more interest to me right then. Ren, resisting the temptation of pengu, I forced my tone to remain as calm as possible. Are you ready to talk yet? About why you left? I don't know what happened, but I'd like you to tell me. I don't like not knowing. It's what I've done this entire game. Pushing back my hair, I watched Ren take a few steps back. She clutched her Boston bag to her tightly as she let out a big sigh.
It's gotta happen sometime.
She returned to my side, looking resigned. Then she took me by the hand and led me toward the stairs.
This isn't a good place to talk, so let's go somewhere else.
Okay. Okay. Her slightly clammy palms betrayed her nervousness, but I could tell she had no more intention of running or avoiding. The area down below was bustling with sightseers and couples. But as soon as we started up the stairs, the atmosphere changed. The stairs were partly in the open, and barely any people seemed to use them. It's like a different world. Shall I get us something to drink, my love? Ren set her bag down and leaned against the handrail, looking over at me.
No, I'm good.
You choose now of all times to not be thirsty? Then she slowly started to talk.
This is like so embarrassing, but my family has issues. You've probably already figured out a bunch of it. My daddy's from a family of traditional Japanese dancers. My mom used to be a student at my grandma's, dance academy. Anyway, a bunch of drama happened between them, and my dad left. I don't think he's ever coming back.
Useless male.
I love my daddy, but I think Mom hates him.
Oops.
She hates calling me by the name he gave me. And I just want to live my life how I want, but Mom's so strict on me.
So he named her Ren? I would assume? Because she wants to call her Love, right?
Yeah, I guess so. You spoke with her, so you get what I mean, right? She's always like that.
I figured that was just her personality.
Personality is one thing. She's obsessed with calling me Love, right? Oh, never. Okay, yeah. Which is why I started calling myself Ren. It means the same thing anyway.
Oh, so that's why you're Ren now. One of her lies had been replaced with truth, although Ren herself probably hadn't seen it as a lie.
I guess I felt like it wasn't worth mentioning. Sorry for the surprise.
Wasn't like I'd ever asked. I felt the wind go out of my sails a little.
Well, anyways, I was staying with friends, pretty much doing whatever I wanted, and I happened to meet you. It was perfect.
You mean...
Yeah, about that.
you were using me?
Sorry, I totally did fall for you at first sight, but I might have been putting it on just a teeny tiny bit.
I knew I shouldn't have trusted a Gyaru. Figures, you're all the same. You're kind. Whores. I thought it was whores. So telling me she was living alone, making that don't ask face, all but an act, typical trashy manga setup. Why didn't she just come out? About what she was having issues with her mom, not the other thing. In fact, she hadn't, probably meant it was hard for her to talk about. So she is lesbian, but mama is off topic? So I just don't get it.
So I was staying at your place, but then after we had that fight, my mom found me. She dragged me home and gave me an earful, but, well, I snuck out.
Wait, I think I'm starting to get the picture.
And then you hugged me.
Oh. It was incredibly embarrassing having that pointed out to me all over again. I covered my face red with hands. But Ren, notice, Carrie. I'm so confused.
Oh, I love you so much. Anyway, so I started thinking I really wanted to live with you again. But you just came home and you want to leave again already? I want to live there. Why do you care? It's not like it affects you. That's not the point. I don't know who this person is, but I don't understand why you want to leave home over some silly crush. It's not silly. Maybe it's one-sided, but I'm in love. Everyone thinks they're in love at your age. After you've been gone for a while, they'll forget all about you. No way! I won't be forgotten. Yes, you will.
Have you met me?
I'm so done. I'll prove it to you. They'll come looking for me. You'll see. And so it turned into a bed. If you came to find me, I could leave. If you forgot about me, I'd do as my mom said.
Seriously? What the hell? Ran was one thing, but I couldn't believe Coyote-san would agree to such a childish wager. Do you know what you put me through? Do you know what you put us through? These past few weeks looking around for one had taken mental and physical toll on me.
It was hard on me, too. I really wanted to tell you when you came to my college and in my room.
So why didn't you?
Because it didn't feel fair.
She hung her head, her uncertain tone wavering in the stillness of the night air.
But then when you came to talk to my mom, when you came to get me, I was so happy.
She looked up at me. There was something different in her gaze. Something anxious and restless. She took my hand in both of hers. My heart started to thump at the feel of her trembling fingers on my skin.
Hey, do you really want to go home like this?
Huh? Her eyes shimmered. Feeling the heat and tremors of her hand made my chest feel tight. Doki, Doki. What does she mean? Doki, Doki. I was 26 years old. I knew what she was implying. Well, look at that. Someone is acting their age.
Wow.
This was moving way too fast. Doki, Doki. We can't do that. We're both girls.
Huh?
Her face fell, but I pushed down the guilt, threatening to roll up at me and fix my gaze on hers, struggling to retain my dignity. Going home to my apartment, not some hotel.
What? Hotel? I never said that.
But I thought you were implying we go somewhere.
No, Akira, you perv! Okay.
This is why I never act my age, because I'm wrong.
I'm asking if this is really okay with you, me coming back to your place like this.
I realized I completely misinterpreted what she was saying. She should have just been clear about it from the start. I hate this. I already told you I want to live with you.
That doesn't answer my question. Yeah,
Yes,
that
it
was in front of my
does.
mom. No, it doesn't.
So what's the question? Oh my god, just go back home.
I'm asking if you want me as a girlfriend, if you like me in a love way.
Of course I love you. Daisuki, as they say in Nippon.
Fine. Huh?
Huh? Ren's mouth hung open like she couldn't process what was happening. As her cheeks started to flush, I sank into the ground in mortification. Did you ever watch, what was that old, I mean, it's not old, but that Netflix anime from a few years back? Where there's the dragon, there was a plane.
Yeah, you told me about it, and I watched it.
Yeah.
I don't remember all the
It's
details.
like the confession scene in that. I still think about that confession scene. It was so funny and so well done with the English voice actors. Oh, let's see if I can find it. I don't remember either. Where she's
I
like,
don't even remember the name of it.
I don't. Netflix show anime Dragon Pilot. Dragon Pilot. I think that might have been it. Yeah, Dragon Pilot. Confession scene.
This confession scene reminds me of the Given confession scene between.
It's that same.
Akihito
Yeah.
and Haruki. Yeah.
It's absolutely that same vibe. Where he kind of like is dumb, but in the Dragon Pilot one, it's like both of them are dumbfounded. She's like, "Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's just because you made me have a crush on you or something." And the guy's like, "What?" And then she's like, "What?" I can't sell it, but I remember finding it super endearing. That was a good anime. Netflix can do some good anime sometimes. Dragon Pilot.
Agreed.
It's
Considering one of those things was so many things. Castlevania, if you want to call it a Western.
Yeah. Anyway, Ren's mouth hung open like she couldn't process what was happening. As her cheeks started to flush, I sank to the ground in mortification. I hate this already. Go back to your mom's. I hadn't wanted to acknowledge it myself, but now I gotta say those three little words. Yeah, no shit you haven't wanted to acknowledge it.
You really didn't want to acknowledge it.
Clearly, all she could do was sigh in response to my childish reaction.
Okay, Hakaru, if we're gonna do this, you really have to get over this. I love you too.
But how do they say it in Nippon?
I can't believe how you stayed on this bit till the very end. Daisuki.
Just like what Kohei-kun would say. Her sparkling eyes looked into mine. They were the color that had been missing from my life for these past weeks. The color I had fallen in love with. Ren. Choo!
I can't believe it only took however many hours of gameplay. Or of clicking, if you can call that gameplay. Glad we're just doing this in like the open too. What happened to all of the you know what? Not gonna complain. Not looking to give horse in the mouth.
The sensation remained on my lips even after the brief moment had passed. Her face was gradually turning a deep shade of red, flushing all the way down to her neck.
Huh? What?
Choo! Are you happy now?
What? No, I'm not happy. What the hell was that? What happened to... You just crumpled on the floor.
Ren leaped to her feet, raging like a fire. Her face was tomato red and her voice shrill. I was taken aback by this unexpected response.
I can't believe our first kiss was sitting on the floor like losers.
That's your problem?
It should have been romantic. That's why I wanted to go to Skyview. Damn it. You're always fantasizing about your manga boys, yet you somehow have no clue.
This isn't the same. This is real life. Sure, I imagine kissing my husbando all the time, but that was different. She's just some girl. How was I supposed to respond to this complaint? It's like I had time to plan it. It's all very new to me. I just finally said the words the first time like 10 seconds ago after lying to myself for 3 months. Forget it ever happened then. Is that what you want? Why don't you just go back to your mom's?
No!
Huh?
I don't want to forget about it or go back to my mom's. Akaru, I love you.
She shouted, red in the face. Then, apparently having reached her breaking point, she hugged me tightly from behind.
I love you so more. Love you more than anything else in the whole world. I love you.
Her breath tickled my back while her words warmed my heart. Somehow I felt at peace. Oh, I'm finally happy. Ha! I fucking nailed it.
Wait, what?
Like it ended on her going, oh, I'm finally happy. This is.
Oh, is that what it really said? I looked away for like a split second.
No, that was just I wasn't sure it was actually gonna cut right at that point. I just said it because for some reason you're surprised at my commitment to these terrible bits that I do. But
Yeah.
that one kind of worked out. But we still have one more choice to make, so let's see here. So we did, the bad ending was the first one, where we were together, but like, still tiptoeing around shit. This one is the happy ending, and then there's the true ending, so we'll see how that goes. I hope the true end is also happy. We'll see. I'm not sure how much will be different. This is cute.
I have to let my dog in.
How cute, you indecisive bitch.
Go to your bed.
Pooch, that's it, Pooch. Get on the fridge.
Pokemon Master was in charge of the Chinese version of quality assurance. Nice.
Interesting. Cute.
Nice.
Oh? Oh, it's a scene. There's a story I was enamored with as a child, a tale of romance and a thought on the side of aliens in town. Man, I don't remember how the final episode ended. Still, if I was going to make my own story, it would probably end something like this.
Akira, I love you. I love you so much.
I get it, bitch. Happy end. Or is it? Dun, dun, dun.
What?
Let's see what we got here. Still 2 unachieved. But we've been to all the places. Okay. So last time we said I don't want to hurt her anymore, right? So this time, it's not about her, it's about us. I tried to get closer to Ren. She'd probably just tell me more lies. Wait, this is... Maybe I wouldn't keep... Okay, yeah, I think it's probably going to be the same for a bit. Let's see. Even so, Let's see. In order to keep honest, you don't see for... No, I don't want to avoid her anymore. I want to face up to her properly and hear what she has to say.
I see.
That's a bit more decisive than before. Yeah, this is a bit different, okay. I wanted to speak to Ren, even if it would only hurt both of us. Even if it was way more troublesome and complicated than standing a duty character. I can't go back to how things were before. Sounds too quietly. People right. I spent chasing those bondos, finding a sister. People changing. Have a moment, yes. Something important to discuss. Discuss here? No. First please get changed. I'll get Ren. Yeah, okay, this is how she looks so composed. She does resemble Ren. Cute face, etc. Akuru. Ren-chan. Sit up. You two. Limp wrists. Apology. Rabu. Sensitive. Rabu. You're the lesbian. I'm going to ask your approval. If love still likes me, I'd like to keep living together. Please, Ren. Still like me. Glomp. Cannot breathe you. You promised, Mama. I told you I'm a lesbian and it's not a phase. Coyote-san. Okay, see now this is the same. Okay. There we go. So I couldn't skip at first because we had the slight differences with her being more decisive, but now I'm saying I can skip. I still don't get it. No, I can't skip again. This should do.
What's this?
Ren screwed up her face as she pulled clothes out of the boxes in my closet. She held up a t-shirt with black writing and a red logo.
Ew, what's with this old men's t-shirt? Can I toss it?
Hey! No, I need that.
Is this my ex-boyf? I'm tossing it.
What is a boif? She frowned even harder and made to throw the t-shirt into the trash, but I hurriedly snatched it from her limp wrist. No! It's a pet. It's important to me. My high school husbando.
What? I don't know what that is, but you're definitely not into it now. Doesn't look like you've ever worn this.
Wearing them isn't the point of otaku t-shirts. I told her emphatically and Ren rolled her eyes, but refolded the t-shirt and returned it to the box like the good wife she is.
So, I've been thinking, You have, like, no clothes.
I think you just have too many.
What? But I didn't even bring my winter closet.
Pouting, Ren plopped onto the bed. Bags and clothes were strewn around the room, most of them Ren's. After the confrontation at her house, Ren and I were living together again. She had brought way more stuff with her than last time, so I decided to have a clear out. In the end, she didn't patch things up with Kaori-san. She brought all her makeup and things for class, along with her favorite bags and clothes, but it still seemed like she had a lot of stuff left at home. I needed her mom to accept us at some point, not just because of some bet. Feeling overwhelmed, I threw out some bags, threw out some worn camisoles and pantyhose into the trash bag.
Oh, more t-shirts. Ugh, men's again.
Akutaka shirts are one size fits all.
There are so many things that look better on you, though.
Are you ready to talk yet? About why you left? On the way to the station, I screwed up my courage and asked Ren, who had been walking along in silence. She stopped in her tracks and turned to face me. Can't skip, so I don't know what happened, but I'd like you to tell me. I don't like not knowing. Clutching her Boston tag slightly to her chest, she let a big sigh.
Yeah, you're right. And if I get heavy with you for a moment?
She came over to me, looking resigned. She stared up at my gaze. Her face... No, she stared up at her gaze uncertain. Seemed like she was searching my face for feelings. Now listen. I want to hear.
Doctor. Yeah, okay.
She nodded, her lips set in a tight line of resolution. Then she slowly began to talk.
Issues.
Dance Academy, loves my mommy, strict on me. She's always like that. Personality is one thing, so that's why you're Ren. That's a lie. Right. So you're just perfect, you mean you were using me. Figures, that was a little bit much. Mom, if I should have met her, it's probably hard. I snuck out. Hugged me. Embarrassing, I was like, I want to marry. Wait. Okay, this is a little different.
Oh, yeah. And I was like, I want to marry this chick.
Don't mock me.
But you were so cool and so cute. I felt really loved. Sometimes you're like the perfect woman. It's really not fair.
I can't tell if that's a compliment. Listening to profess her love for me made me think of myself with my husbandos. I took a deep breath to calm myself down, and then carried on.
And so I decided I wanted to try and get my mom to accept a relationship. So I went back home the day after the fan event, but...
Yeah, it's not like it affects you, isn't the point. It's just really crush. Love. Everyone thinks they're in love. She'll forget about you. I won't be forgotten. Yes, she will. I'm so done. You do as my mom said. Seriously, what the hell? Childish wager. It was hard. Went down. I'm not going to like that. I wanted to tell you. Why didn't you? Did it feel fair? Etc. Etc. Wait. When you came to get me, I was so happy. No. Oh, this is a little different too. It's embarrassing to be gay in public, so we'll wait till we get home.
Understood.
She looked down, her tone oddly formal. The tips of her ears peeking out from her golden hair were bright red, and she hugged my arm even tighter.
Oh, is that perfume? You don't normally wear it.
Ren spotted one particular box among the range of merch displayed on Dojin shelves. It's perfume inspired by my husbando. Basically cologne.
Say what? Why would they make that?
Weebs and Nippon have this weird obsession with scent and smell. And so you can feel close to them. I felt a little too close. I don't use it often. It was just one night where I sprayed it on my body pillow and hugged it falling asleep that way. Oh, I shouldn't talk about it. I had it made for me at the specialist store based on Kohei-kun's image. The notes of citrus and sandalwood turned out just as I imagined, but the feeling of my husband in the room with me had been too much to bear. I only used it one time. I felt like I could lose myself in it. I might not have the will to go on afterward.
Okay, well, I'm here now, so you shouldn't need it anymore.
This is not the same. I told her as I folded the towels. I bought 5 new ones at the fan event and was just having a hard time shoving them all into the box.
So you like this scent? Can I try it?
Oh, Lord. This is gonna... Our poor, confused, dense idiot is gonna be so confused. Sure, knock yourself out. I can't see this backfiring. Ren's face lit up like she had a brilliant idea. I had a bad feeling, but for the time being, I continued tidying. As I piled up unwanted clothes, I suddenly caught the scent of sandalwood in the air. Yep.
So, does this get you going?
Toto. Arms wrapped around my neck, and I felt a weight against my shoulder. The next moment, the scent grew even stronger. Oh, hold on. Horny. Too much. Stimulation. Kohei consent mingled with Ren's. The voice in my ear was Ren. Smell. Kohei. Oh. I can't take it. It's too confusing. Too horrible. Ah. I shook her off and held her at arm's length. It had been so long since I felt her this close, my head was spinning. I told you before I'm not into that. Although I don't mind holding hands and stuff.
So could you just admit it already?
I'm not into 3D women. You're not my girlfriend. You're my roommate.
What?
Boy.
What?
I moved away from her, flapping my hand around to waft the lingering scent. But you have a limp wrist.
But I guess we didn't do the confession this time, technically, but that's still so... What?
Let's see.
What? But we're basically together. I thought we could finally take things to the next level now that I'm away from my mom.
No, we're roommates. And not that kind. Kissing and stuff is off the table. I'm not changing my mind on this, even though I just kissed you in the other ending.
Aw, what's wrong with a little kiss? In America, they kiss each other to say hello.
That is not correct. That is Europe and South American countries. Sure, if you can leave it at just a greeting. Can you control yourself?
I obviously can't.
Then no.
Aw, Crew, I hate you. I love you.
With that, she wrapped her arms around my neck again. Really, I wouldn't mind if things carried on this way forever. Yep, I'm fine with this. I'm not lying to myself still.
So you're just gonna keep doing this forever, huh?
Shino, once again, our self-inserts.
Yeah.
I'm not putting anything off. This is what happiness looks like. I'm totally content with the way things are right now. In fact, I'm so content, I want to step away to refill my water cup. I'm not talking to you anymore. Summer coming was the most exciting event of the year, but at the same time, the heat and discomfort were at a peak. Swiping wet away from my face, I looked at Shino. Weirdly, we finished most of it. I need water. I'll be right back. We finished buying things, now I had the front lines grab much needed break. During busiest period, I was packed with women who I'm not into, and we wanted to save our strength.
Yeah, but I suppose it's all good. Love Child's back with you, and all's right with the world. Except, barely.
It will be right when she stops with the jealousy. I didn't invite her today, and I'm never gonna hear the end of it.
How about getting her to cosplay again? I bet she'd make a great Kohei-kun. That would be the end of the world.
Her words conjured up images from when I'd been cleaning. That was bad. I could still feel the tingle of her breath across my ear. I almost had to confront the fact that I'm definitely not straight. No. Time with my husbando is for me and him. I don't want that thought interfering. Anyway, let's find a cafe where we can check out these books.
Okay. The usual dairies.
Yeah, there were so many illustration books this year. I found this one that's all Koei-kun pinups. What? That was weird. I didn't even... Shimanka too. Shimanka! I was like, OMG, this is the perfect book. And I'm, loaded down with a huge tote bag filled with my war spoils. I managed to unlock the door to the apartment, but inside was dark and silent. Huh? Ren? Did you leave again because I'm sending you mixed signals?
Honestly, yeah, I'm about to say that the other ending was better.
It was called Happy End. She said that she'd stay home today, since she couldn't come to comic. A chill ran down my spine as I hurried to get my sandals off. Wait a second. I went through all that to get you back, and then I started giving you the cold shoulder, and now you're leaving again, and I'm kind of relapsing and getting scared. Ren, are you here? I flung open the door to the bathroom and the dining room. Lastly, I peered into the bedroom, but all I found were my neatly folded pajamas. Oh, don't tell me. Is this the consequences of my own actions? Something happened with her family again? Pulling out my phone, I called her. She's not picking up. After ringing for what sounded like an eternity, it switched to the dial tone. I closed the messaging app and I tried calling the other number I had for her.
Hello, this is the Furutachi residence.
Hello. Is that Coyote-san? This is Hayahoshi.
I'm hanging up. It's been a while.
Her voice was as clear as a bell. She asked me what I was calling about in perfectly calm tone, as though all the previous drama was between us was forgotten. So, yeah, is Ren there with you? Is she,
No, and thanks so much for upping it in. She hasn't been home since you left.
Naruhodo ne, as they say in Nippon. I said vaguely, readjusting my grip on the phone. I didn't think Coyote-san was lying to me, and it didn't seem like a family issue, so where is she?
Well, perhaps she's given up on you.
Oh, it's my fault. Pain lands to my heart at these words because I realized that she's probably being honest because I'm the one to blame. I heard Ren's angry voice in my head and started to respond without thinking. Oh. I'm the one who called you, so thanks for answering. Bye, sorry. Homos, am I right?
I really like Kaori-san. Like Kaori-san. Like that kind of just like blunt, like, oh, maybe she jumped you. Like, I love that energy.
I waited for Coyote-san to say something else. I probably should have hung up then, but there was still something bugging me.
You're very polite, Akuru-san.
Coyote-san.
That was harsh. I'm just a little bitter. And I'm sorry for being hard on you before, too.
Her sincere apology. She actually made me feel worse. She was certainly a strict woman, like Ren said, but I didn't think she was cold-hearted. It probably isn't my place to ask, but are you okay with love not living with you? I heard Kaori-san draw breath on the other side of the line. She said she wasn't okay with it then. My only option would be to say that it's not her decision and that Ren can do what she wants because she's a college adult woman. But also, I guess I just have to send her back. Parents' words are absolute. With those thoughts running through my head, I waited quietly for a response. When it came, it wasn't what I had expected.
Yes, I think it's best we live apart. Isn't happier with you.
I see. Or as I say in Nippon Naruhodo ne. I noted into the phone, unsure what else to say. Naruhodo ne.
I made things hard for her. I think it's fate that things turned out like this.
Feto.
Her father had a big heart too. So big that one woman wasn't enough for it. Oh.
Uzui-san?
Oh. But Sensei, Keiko-san, accepted me, the wife whose husband had given up on her.
Her father's the one who gave her the name. Love, isn't he?
Yes, she was the only thing he left behind when he left. As she grew, she became more and more like her father.
Kairi-san trailed off. I squeezed the phone tightly, unable to bring myself to probe any further. I was sure she was hurting even more than me.
Maybe she turned to women because of him. Oh.
I don't know if that's how that works. It said more to herself, not as a complaint or a question, but I made my heart ache. I don't think so. I remembered how Lorena laughed, telling me that I must be her soulmate because her father told her that if you ever meet someone who makes you feel like you've been struck by lightning, they're your soulmate. She loved her father so much.
That's kind of, when you think of it now, like, it doesn't mean as much knowing that he just left and cheated on her.
She loved her father so much she believed anything he said, and she loved her mother the same. So why were the two of them at such odds with one another?
Fucker's odd.
Would you mind if I came to your class again sometime? I wanted to hang on to this one connection I had with Ren. Prepared for her to say no, I waited for a response.
Yes, of course.
You're gonna charge me the full rate, aren't you?
Yes,
Just as relief ran through me, I heard the sound of the front door opening. A quick bow to KR, and I hung up the call. Later, bitch. I opened the dining room door to peer out into the hall and found Ren standing there, both hands laid down shopping bags.
I'm home. Sorry I'm late. OMG, the sales were so busy.
Seeing her there, the same as ever, I smiled with relief. Setting my phone on the table, I hurried to greet her. Ren, you bitch. You bought way too much and you scared me.
Okay, but it's my money too. And you were shopping today too, so I didn't want to be left out. But, like, everything was so cute.
Okay, well that's all well and good, but now you're gonna have even more clothes.
Whoopsie.
After we just went through everything.
Says you. Look how much you bought.
This is different. Ren reached out for the huge tote bag I dumped on the table. Oh no, those are BL books. You won't like those because you're lesbian.
BL? Okay, but it's gay. I could have a problem with that. Wait, why do you suddenly care?
No, Ren, those aren't for your innocent eyes. They're the naughty, naughty ones. The battle raged on for a while as I desperately tried to defend the contents of the bag while a smirking Ren attempted to snatch one of the porny books.
Okay, I'm turning the light off. Night.
Night. Ren reached for the remote control. With a beep, the room was plunged into the darkness. We've been sharing a bed ever since Ren came back, but I sometimes felt her gaze on me. She'd given up on trying to cuddle. But why? Insert Terry Jeffords. Why? You asleep, Ren?
What?
Usually I slept facing the wall, but today I faced Ren and called her name. She responded in a sleepy voice. She rubbed her eyes and looked back at me.
Yes. You're really close, Akaru.
Her eyes swam and she shifted slightly as she stared at me in silence. She slightly stared at me in silence.
That is quite the, what do you call it? Tongue twister.
So, about your mother, or as I say in Nippon, Oka-san.
Huh? My mom?
Her dumb face broke the tension between us. She frowned, eyeing me intently.
What the hell? I was totally expecting something else. What a mood killer.
She muttered to herself, putting her hand to her cheek. The flush on it probably wasn't from the summer heat. Suddenly becoming aware of our proximity, I leaned into it by scooting back slightly. Are you going home over the summer vacation?
Huh? I wasn't planning to.
She averted her eyes uncertainly. It was the response I'd been expecting. Ren clearly didn't want to talk about her mother. I spoke to Kaori-san on the phone today. I'm, thinking of taking classes with her.
Sure, go ahead. Mom will be pleased. Oh, but you'd better not cheat on me. I'm serious. I will cut you.
I was about to protest, but stopped myself. I had to be careful not to let her change the topic. I've been thinking you and her should probably talk about classes, food, anything.
About you?
Sure. Oh, but don't bring up anything embarrassing or gay.
Okay, but have you met me?
She leaned in, resting her forehead against my shoulder. Her legs brushed mine where they stuck out from under the thin summer cover.
Cool with me. Earned a little reward, don't you think?
Rewards come after.
Please.
Her tone was so sweet I couldn't push her away. The anxiety in her voice swayed me, and I reached out to place a hand on her shoulder.
Hee hee. I'll do my best then. Don't cry when you miss me.
I won't cry.
Said the one who jumped straight to calling my mom.
You know.
I do now.
You baited me, bitch. Give me a break, bitch. She was so quick thinking when it came to these things. Still a little exasperated, I gently wrapped her up in an embrace. I could smell her soft scent and warm body felt nice against mine in the air-conditioned room. Kind of would like to do this every night, but I'm not gay. I could hear cars racing along the road outside the window. People said the city never sleeps, but I felt like it was trying to. Sweepy. I felt my breathing deepen as I started to doze off, until a quiet voice broke the silence.
Hey, going back to what you were saying.
What?
Are we really never gonna be proper girlfriends?
My stomach flipped over and my breath caught in my throat, waking me right back up. She was too close for me to really see her, but her cheek was hot against my shoulder. I could tell she was flushed scarlet. The quiet stretched on, filled only by the sound of our heartbeats. I already told you no. I don't change my mind. A wave surged up inside me and came out as those words. I don't know if I can love you the way you love me. My stiff fingers brushed her back, and looked up in my eyes, hers reflecting the faint light of the street lamps beaming in through the window. I'm not confident I can be the partner you're looking for. I mean, I'm not even into girls. I just think about how nice and pretty they are all the time and how soft and warm they are when I touch them and how, you know. Yeah.
I can't believe.
You're definitely gay.
Yeah.
I never loved like this before. Liking someone, falling in love with them, and that being the end of it. I knew, but I hadn't known the possibility of my feelings return would be quite so terrifying. So I'm just gonna ignore this and never confront it or anything. I wanted to tell her that hey, this was fine, this is what happiness looked like, but she interrupted me.
I am a girl, in case you hadn't noticed.
Huh?
Like, I don't really get what you're going through, but why not see how it is with a girl, with me?
Her words took my breath away. You mean experimenting? Ren's eyes glittered as she reached out to take my hand. When her hand brushed beneath my eyes, I realized for the first time I was crying.
I don't think I've ever seen an adult cry like this before.
Why?
Question was directed at myself, and the answer swirled in my brain.
Why can't I just be honest with myself?
Ren probably knew the answer too, but she simply wiped my tears away, unable to say it for me.
So can I ask you again?
Okay.
I want to be your girlfriend. I want you to be my girlfriend.
Her quavering voice reverberated around the dark room. The tears cooled on my cheeks. The noise of the air conditioner was obnoxiously loud. Nope, still can't do it. Homos, am I right? Okay, bye. I gave my answer in a voice only Ren could hear. I'm gay. The sensation was even softer than I'd imagined. Don't tell anybody, but I think I'm gay. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm gay. Seriously? I gave my answer in a voice when... Oh my...
They kissed, right?
I don't know. I mean, she said I gave my answer in a voice that... Well, yeah, but that's sensation. That I'm a bitch. After After arriving home after my shift, I noticed Ren's sandals in the entryway. She'd gone back to her mom's place the day before yesterday, but looked like she was already back.
Okay, welcome home.
I heard the patter of her footsteps and saw her pop out of the dining room. A delicious scent followed her. I licked my lesbian lips. Did you cook?
Yep, tomato pasta. I just finished.
Oh, you're gonna finish, I swear to fucking God, or else this game's getting a 1-star review on Yelp. She puffed out her chest proudly, tossing my bag onto the sofa. I went to wash my face while Ren sat down at the table. Thanks for cooking.
Not at all.
I tore out a forkful of pasta and took a bite. The flavor of tomato spread across my tongue. It was a little too hot, but perfectly salty.
How was it?
A little too hot, but perfectly salty.
It was good. I was thinking the same thing.
Oshi, you're getting pretty good at this.
Really? Yay.
She started to eat too. Did you talk with your Okasan?
Yeah, we talked.
A little smile, playing around with her lips, was infectious. After swallowing a mouthful of food, she went on.
I told her we started dating.
Huh? But I didn't. You already told her?
Oh, right. She said she wanted to talk to you.
That's gotta mean something bad, doesn't it? I knew I should have just lived in denial for the rest of my life. This is gonna be so awkward and uncomfortable.
Grandma wants to talk to you too. Oh, and I think she just recently purchased a shotgun.
Please, stop. My stomach hurts. My stomach ached at the mere thought of it. Meeting the parents was way too big a deal, even though we've already met before.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, it's less of a deal when you already know them. And she told me to come back to visit more often.
She sounded a little embarrassed as she set down her fork. I couldn't help but smile at her awkward expression. Oh, that's great. I mean, no, it is great what you said, that you could visit. The stuff about my tasks, not so great.
Akru.
She stared at me for a few seconds before abruptly leaping to her feet and flinging herself at me. What? I shielded her to the table so she didn't fall on my dinner. Our eyes met and Ren oh god, she's kissing me. I'm still so confused.
I'm so glad I fell for you, Akru. You're two so cute. I love you.
What's this for? We gazed at one another for a few minutes. Everything was quiet. My heart was something so loudly in my ears I worried Ren might hear it as she leaned in toward me. Ren. It's at that moment I realized I was gay. A loud crash emanated from the kitchen sink, drawing our eyes. Ugh! I was finally getting comfortable with the smooching. So that white mug had slipped from the drying rack. Or it was a mug. This is the CG we're gonna end on?
I guess so.
Kohei-kun, my one true love. Cradling the pit for the broken shards, I slumped against the kitchen counter, overcome with emotion. This is the worst thing that's ever happened to me.
That totally ruined the mood.
Kohei-kun.
What? You're actually crying?
Why? When you live for 80 years, is your merch designed to die so young?
I've never seen an adult cry like this before. I know I just said that, but this is different.
I tried putting the pieces back together, but it lacked the original gallant expression. Kohei's fractured face looked sadly out of me, Kohei-kun! Clasping the shards in my hand, I screamed his name.
Akru, your hands are bleeding, you dummy.
Let me die! This pain is nothing compared to Kohei-kun's. Okay, no, actually it hurt.
Would you look at me for once?
I wasn't even sure why I was crying anymore, but the tears continued to fall. Sadness overwhelmed me and Ren's words rang hollow. Okay. Yeah, happy end was better. I mean, it's nice. I get why this is like true, and like they're dating at their own, annoying pace. And this one, Akaru encouraged her to settle things with her parents, her mom, rather than just relying on her to be cute and shit. But like, for the love of God, just let Akaru not be like, oh, I just don't know, I just can't, I'm so scared, and all this shit. Like, she has a very supportive 2 people in her life. It's kind of whatever.
Yeah.
Happy end was
Well, we played. It had its cute moments.
I bought the fucking other one too, the Love or Die one, where it's like the thing described as like an epilogue. But if it's an epilogue to the true ending, I'm almost like, is it gonna be fucking more of the like, oh, I just, we've been dating, but nothing's happened, or is it gonna be cuter?
I don't know. I would hope that an epilogue takes, like, if there's a time skip and then, like,
right.
I'm not asking for anything like a big time skip, but just like a little more time for them to be more comfortable with each other.
That'd be nice. Some fluffy stuff, for the love of God.
Yeah. It's so cute. Like, the art style is so cute. Like, it's their character designs are great. I'm here for it. I just wanted a little
Remember
bit.
that thing I was saying like an hour ago about Ruby and how they have a lot of good things going for it with production and like presentation and stuff, and that it just doesn't really matter when the story isn't there. Yeah, it's a little like that.
Yeah. I guess we'll see what the ED's got, or not the ED, but the ending scene, after credit scenes got for us.
Sombrero. Oh, mamma mia. Yeah. So true ending doesn't really seem like she went for the waifu over the husbando. It was a lie. Let's see. There was the story that was the kind of a thing, a bit romance, alien. I thought this was how love played out for adults, whirling into their lives like a tornado. If I could go back in time and speak to my younger self, I'd tell her, "You're gay." And no matter how different they are, or how impossible it seems, whether one is an alien, whether the same or opposite gender, sometimes 2 people just fall in love, and it hits you out of nowhere.
And then you deny it, and then it just keeps hitting you, and then you just keep denying it, and then finally you're like, maybe that thing that I thought couldn't be is actually a thing that could be possible.
Yeah, like a lightning bolt. Itai.
I told you not to move it.
Riga, thanks. The disinfectant stung my palm and I grimaced in pain. Something soft brushed my lips.
He finally looked at me.
The adorable girl before me smiled bashfully. She was so precious to me and I loved her. I'd just never show it. But I did smile back. Yeah. Happy end superior in most ways. At least with these 2. Like, yeah. Cute, not flawless. Like you said, good designs, some cute moments for sure. Just the drama and conflict was not great for a driving factor. So, yeah. Damn lesbians.